Was it banned? Because Oppenheimer premiered in Japan almost a year later. Just moments ago, the Oppenheimer movie was released in Japan. But according to experts, this was not easy at all. Remember, the film tells the story of how the American physicist Oppenheimer led the ultra-secret Manhattan Project, thus creating the atomic bomb which were released in Japan twice. In the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and slaughtered more than 100,000 people. They died from this in August 1945. Those who know Japan understand this attack forever changed Japan. Now, the movie grossed nearly $1 billion worldwide. However, it was not released in Japan. Experts said that maybe it wasn't a good idea. We need to be clear. It depends on who tells you the atomic bomb's story. Some say they were necessary, while others assure you that the United States simply did it to show off its power, and that really, Japan was about to surrender. But with this, the USA wanted to show they were going to dominate the world. If you've seen the Oppenheimer movie, it shows how he lived, regretful for having created something that could destroy the world. Now, the Japanese have said that watching the movie is quite painful, talking about Hiroshima, for instance, just in a room where at no point do they think about the people. They also discussed the very Western way of telling this story. Now, Christopher Nolan, the creator of Oppenheimer, insists that if it were to premiere in Japan, it had to be approached very carefully, even though the world had already seen it. They also had to give the Japanese a chance to see it, both as a work of art and a way to view this tragic story. Some questioned Nolan when the movie was released. What didn't it show graphic images of? The devastation is the unstoppable atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But he was clear, sometimes showing less can be more. Now, there are people in Japan who have said that watching the movie made them feel a loss, seeing the purity of the people when the experiment succeeded. And when the bombs were launched, it's clear as heavily straightforward. There is still a debate about whether the bombs should have been dropped or not. Why were they dropped? Japan was going to surrender, or it was not going to surrender. But it's also worth mentioning something. Watching Oppenheimer's movie is to see a part of history. But if you want to see the Japanese side, there's movies made by the Japanese that really, they smell and hurt a lot. A lot indeed. You probably already knew this, but the Godzilla character was created as a representation of an atomic bomb. The first Godzilla movie shows that giant monster destroying everything with no humanity, just like the movie Godzilla -1 does. If you want to watch two movies that might traumatize you by showing how painful the atomic bombings in Japan were, well, see for instance, Grave of the Fireflies. Or you can also watch the movie called Hiroshima, known as Harashi no Hin. The reality is there are many versions, but maybe the two most brutal ones you should know about are the perspectives of the United States, who dropped the bombs, and Japan, who received them. Now tell me, what do you think? Do you believe it was necessary to drop those bombs? And why did the United States do it? And do you think the Oppenheimer movie should have been released in Japan or not? And what do you think the Japanese feel when they see it? Leave me your thoughts. I want to know whether they're more or